Hey legends, so today I'm going to be doing a live commentary on the first time I ever smoked weed. Basically the story kind of starts in year 9 indirectly, but not really because, that was the first time I really experienced it. I didn't actually smoke then, but basically my friends tried to get me pretty into it, and I didn't really want to at that point, so basically after 3 years or so of badgering, one friend of mine he was probably the most hardcore of the group. He just chatted to me and he's like, dude, like this isn't that big of a deal. But in year 12 with your HSC in Australia, it's very intense, and so I didn't really want to do it during school time, so I didn't want to really screw up my schoolwork. So anyway, what ended up happening is he's a really chill dude, so he's like, yeah, that's cool, you know. And so anyway, what ends up happening is he sets up a huge camping tour for us a couple weeks after school. And so it was perfect, right? Because he's like, dude, I've got this Chinese pre-roll that I made, and like he set it up like it was fine-tuned. You know what I mean? And so like basically, it was just gonna be me, him, and then a couple others, right? And where we were camping was about an hour outside of our town, but it was in this little camper van that he owns, and it's very hard to get to, right? So what happened is I ended up giving him a ride out there, and so he and I were like perfectly fine. We got out there, and the sun's starting to set, but we're going fine. And then the other three people in our group, they just couldn't. They said they got lost like 2 or 3 times. And so what happened is because we had no reception, I had to drive back in a bit. And so what happened is because I drove back in, I had like I was trying to call them and they were lost, which made me lost. So anyway, we're getting into this weird mix between like they were lost and I was lost. And what had happened before is he and I were just kind of like chilling there, and then he offered me like a little miniature joint just for like practice if I wanted it. But I ended up saying no because like it was just suspicious. The whole it was weird. It was like I was paranoid before I even like had weed because he offered it to me and it was just like me and him, and then he's like, oh well, it looks like the others won't be able to make it. And I was like, dude, this is a setup for a horror film. And it was just the weirdest thing. So anyway, I'm lost. My friends are lost. He ends up calling them, and they end up finding the camping spot. But then I'm lost in the middle of nowhere, just like, dude, what the hell? And so then they're all waiting for me at the campsite, and I'm just like trying to find this place again because it's dark outside and I can't see anything. So anyway, I'm driving around, and like at this point, I was like, gee, like, do I really even want to smoke? Like, I mean, this has been traumatic as it is. I don't want to have like the worst trip of my life to start off my weed smoking. But anyway, I ended up finding my way back there. It took like an hour and a half of like riding around on bumps and shit. It was wild. So anyway, I get there and everyone's all excited to see me. They're like, "Oh, Cody, hi, hi, hi." Anyway, then they're just like, "Dude, your chill stoner friend's like off his nut." Like they were telling me that he like pulled out a knife earlier and like I don't know what the deal was, but anyway, so at this point I'm kind of just like, "Do you guys agree this has been spooky as?" And then they're like, "Yeah, this has been like the weirdest thing." And then anyway, my friend's like, "Fuck it, let's go smoke." So we go into his little camper trailer, and it's just the five of us just chilling there. And he lights it, it's pretty normal shit. And anyway, yeah, so then he took a couple puffs and then handed it to me, and just Gave some nice instructions: breathe in, breathe out, all that good stuff. I didn't really do it very well the first time in terms of like I didn't really get it deep down into my lungs properly, if that makes sense. Like it was more just like a little breath in that I held in my mouth, if that makes more sense. Which I got better like on the third and fourth puff. But anyway, and then I just after that I just remember floating. Like I felt like I was, because I laid down on the bed that we smoked on, and I could just feel like these waves rolling through me. It's a magical experience. But and then I was just laying there, just like in a comatose state. It was the weirdest thing, and I was just like chilled out, like nothing mattered at all, if that makes sense. Like, and then stood up, walked around for a little bit, which was pretty wild too. And then we're sitting there, and this almost freaked me out, but my friend starts talking to me, and he's like, "Dude, what's your favorite color?" So I'm like, "Yeah, red." And he's just like, "Well, what does red remind you of?" And he had a red cutting board on the wall, and it's still, ooh, it's even giving me goosebumps now. And I could see like blood like seeping down the cutting board. Oh man, it was the scariest thing. You like to just, because he was trying to help the trip, but it actually scared me so much just seeing that red blood like come down. And I'd never really had an open eye hallucination like that. And so anyway, our friend was just like, "Dude, Cody, come back to us. Like, what just happened?" And then he's like, "Dude, just chill out. Like, you're fine." And then we had a great time for the rest. Like I was just eating a shit ton of food, laying in a bed, all that kind of good stuff, and it was sweet. And then the morning after, whoo, the morning after glow is just amazing. Like I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting to be hungover or something, like it was alcohol, but dude, the morning after glow was like 10 out of 10. Wow. So anyway, that was pretty much my first experience with weed. Let me know if you had a similar experience or not. And yeah, take it easy. I'm probably gonna make a video soon about my strongest trip, and so that should be pretty sweet too. Anyway, alright, peace out.